Hello and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Joris and today I'm here with an update on our Snowball that keeps on growing, and the Snowball is with a dollar sign because we have 3 ETFs that give us dollars as dividends, including EMHD. It's actually 4, and we reinvest those dollar dividends every time in EMHD when it is possible. So it started at the end of October of 2023. Up till then, we were only investing in SDGPX. We started in 2016, then it was in euros. And when we moved to Switzerland, we kept on buying SDGPX. So we kept on transforming, or how do you say it, exchanging our Swiss francs into euros and then buy SDGPX. But then we said we have to stop this because the euro is getting weaker and weaker and weaker compared to the Swiss francs. So I analyzed all the dividend ETFs on the SIX stock exchange, and my wife and I sat together and we found a core satellite strategy that suited us both. And after going over all the emerging market ETFs, because we think it's important to have emerging markets in our portfolio, my wife and I decided that EMHD was the one for us. And the problem was we didn't want to buy US dollars from our Swiss francs. So we needed US dollar, but didn't want to buy it. The solution was that we started investing in 2 world ETFs, GLDV and VHYL, which were also quarterly paying dividend ETFs, just like our SGPX and world ETFs, and they paid out also in different months than SGPX. So when we started investing in GLDV and VHYL, we would receive every month dividends from those 3 dividend ETFs. GLDV and VHYL we could also buy in Swiss francs here in Switzerland. So this would make our portfolio less euro dependent, and that was, in our opinion, a good decision, and it still is. And SGPX, we needed to buy it in euro, and it also pays out in euro. More about that in a little bit. And the good thing about GLDV and VHYL is we can buy them in Swiss francs, but they pay out in dollars. So we started buying GLDV and VHYL in October of 2023, and it was at the end. And then I was investing a little bit too much. You already know that from different videos that I made before on my YouTube channel. But this started our dividend snowball in dollars. And we were always waiting until we had around $500 in dividends so that we could buy EMHD relatively cheap. Because when you buy on Swiss quotes, you still have to pay the costs as well. So you have to remember that. And to get there a little bit faster, we added XYLF. That's an income ETF. A lot of people are not a big fan of covered call ETFs, but when you know what you are buying and why you are buying it, I think that XYLF is definitely worth it. It's so far we are still in the green with XYLF. It's not that much. It's about 4 or 5% that we are in the green with XYLF, and mainly because we receive so much dividends from it. And it speeds up the process a lot. So if you look at our core satellite portfolio, we have 7 ETFs in which we invest. So you have VHYL, GLDV, and SGPX as our world ETFs. Then you have our European ETFs, FLXD and LDG. And then you have our US ETF, XYLF. And then you have our emerging market ETF, EMHD. And why are they in these colors? Well, VHYL, GLDV, XYLF and LDG we can buy in Swiss francs. FLXD and SGPX we can buy in euros, and EMHD we need to buy in dollars. And this is how the flow works. So VHYL, GLDV and XYLF delivers us dollars together with EMHD of course, and we reinvest all those dollars into EMHD. And otherwise we have SGPX and LDG delivering us euros together with FLXD, and we reinvest those euros into FLXD. There will come a time that we also reinvest our euros into SGPX when FLXD is too high percentage. And as I already said in the previous update of our ETF portfolio, we changed the allocation of FLXD to 12%. So that went from 7% to 12%, and LDG we lowered from 10% to 5%. So together they are still 17%. So Europe remains a big part of our ETF portfolio, or it should become a big part of our ETF portfolio, because this is how it should be. It's not there yet. And yeah, as the GPX, as we started with 100%, this one is moving down and down and down. More on that at the end of this video. After 16 months, we made the first buy. So after collecting $500.30 in dividends, and in total this was collected over 24 dividends. On the 19th of February of 2025, we bought the first tranche. So then we bought 21 pieces for a price of $23.51 and the cost $5.95 for a total of $499.66. So this left us with $0.64, and we received $17 in interest at the end of 2024. So this meant that we had $0.81 left. Since then, we haven't received any interest on our account. So yeah, it's too bad here in Switzerland that it doesn't bring us any money, but that's the way it is. So we have to live with it. And it makes also reporting about this process a little bit easier, because I don't need to add another line for the next buys. Now we had GLDV, VHYL, XYLF and EMHD to provide us with dividends in dollars. And then we had our second buy of EMHD. So in the meantime, we kept investing in GLDV mainly, and VHYL and XYLF. And after receiving $481.14 in dividends, which was the total of 14 dividends that we received over the next 7 months, this gave us $481.95 to invest into EMHD. So then we could buy 18 shares of EMHD at the price of $26.35, totaling $481.38. So we had $0.57 left. So far, every time when we could buy, we had a low amount of dollars left, which is always pretty nice, of course. Then, in total, 39 shares of EMHD was in our portfolio. Then the third buy of EMHD, after keeping investing in GLDV, once again, mainly because we needed to move it up to 25%, and VHYL and XYLF. We received $456.02 from 10 dividends in the next 5 months, and this gave us $456.59 to invest into EMHD, and we were able to buy 15 shares on the 17th of February of 2026 for a total of $456.36. Once again, really low amount left, so $0.23 left. And in total, we owned then 54 shares of EMHD, and it remained like that for about 4.5 months, because on the 2nd of July of 2026, so last Thursday, we were able to buy the 4th tranche of EMHD and we were able to buy 16 pieces at the price of $28.055 and in total this is $456.60. That's because on the 1st of July we received the $110.23 of our dividend of VHYL, and yeah, on Wednesday I was really busy, so I didn't really had time to put in a buy order for the first, and then on Wednesday evening I did it, and then it was bought on the 2nd of July. So we kept investing in GLDV, VHYL and XYLF, and after receiving $475.09 in dividends, in total from 9 dividends that we received over the 4.5 months that passed, this gave us $475.32 to invest into EMHD. So on the 2nd of July, we bought 16 pieces for a price of $28.055, and with the cost, this came down to $456.60, and this left us with $18.72. So that is on our Swiss quote account right now, and we have now in total 70 shares of EMHD. If you look at this over time, you see that we went from the 19th of February of 2025 to the 18th of September of 2025 to the 17th of February of 2026, and now the 2nd of July of 2026. So our first buy took us 16 months. So because we started on the 20th of October of 2023 with our first buy of our dividend providing ETF in dollars, as you saw in the beginning of the video, and it took us 24 dividends to get there to reach more or less $500. Then the second buy took us 7 months and 14 dividends. The third buy took us 5 months and 10 dividends, and this one took us 4.5 months and 9 dividends. So how long do you think it will take us to buy the next EMHD ETF? Probably, I believe it's going to be around 4.5 months again, or 5 months, because we were really lucky now with the timing. The dividends, they come in mostly, the highest dividend comes in mostly around May, June and July. So those months are already past. We keep on adding, of course, to GLDV and XY11 and VHYL. So it can be a little bit faster, but I don't believe that the next buy will be faster than 4.5 months. So let me know what you think with what will happen for our next buy of EMHD. And then, of course, you know that how it should be. So EMHD should be 6%, XYLF 7%, LGG 5%, FLXD 12%, VHYL 10%, GLDV 25%, and SGPX 35%. And if you look at it now, we are with EMHD at 2%, so it moved up from 1 to 2%, rounded up of course. Then XYLF is now at 3%, LDG is at 7%, so a little bit too high, but the dividends of SGPX and LDG and FLXD are going to increase FLXD further to 11% really soon, and VHYL is 9% and GLDV is 16%. So GLDV is moving closer and closer towards the 25%, and SGPX, okay, it goes slowly, but it's only 18% left to drop. And that's it for today. So thank you for watching to this one. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. That helps out my channel enormously. And with that being said, see you in the next video on my YouTube channel. Bye.